For the first time, 16 and 17-year-olds will vote for their representatives in the European Parliament, following the model of Austria, Greece and Malta.
It's very important to remember that when you're 16, when you're 17, you oftentimes have the right to make medical decisions for your own body. You have the obligation to pay taxes if you have a job. You can enter civil partnerships or you can get married. So you have all of these duties, all of these obligations. So part of our advocacy efforts and what we're asking for is for the democratic rights of young people to match the responsibilities. We think it's only fair, and we see interest, we see the willingness to be involved.
After several interpretations, the Belgian Constitutional Court ruled that young Belgians would be subjected to compulsory voting as adults, even if the federal government decided that voters aged 16 and 17 would not be fined for not showing up. From 6th to 9th June, around 400 million European citizens in 27 member states will exercise their right to vote for their representatives in the European Parliament, the world's only directly elected transnational assembly. Some, though, see the lowering of the minimum age as a ploy to get an easy vote of unwitting teens who have barely outgrown childhood and are prey to whatever the flavor of the day for a new generation might be. Experts warn that left-wing, right-wing or populists could profit. If the United States has a limit of 25 years to be a candidate for Congress, most EU nations allow anyone 18 years or up to represent their electorate in the European Parliament in Strasbourg, France and Brussels. And doesn't Kira Marie Peter Hansen know? Out of the blue, she was shocked when she found herself elected on a Danish Green ticket 5 years ago, barely 20.
Well, of course, the first half year was super difficult and confusing because I didn't expect to get elected, so I had to start all over in a Brussels life also. But I think overall the European Parliament is a good place to be a young politician. Like my group is very supportive, and also in the negotiations I've had, I don't feel like people are seeing me as just this young person who knows nothing.
Manon Aubry of the hard left France Unbowed said there were many issues for the young to get riled up about, from social exclusion and inequality to poverty.
It's the only time, the only place when you, me, any youth has as much power as Viktor Orban, as Emmanuel Macron, as Bernard Arnault, one of the richest guy in the European Union.
Across the continent, millions more young people will vote for the first time. 5.1 million in Germany, 4 million in France, and 2.8 million in Italy. This is according to the EU statistics agency Eurostat. While no one can give a precise total of youth voters, if first-time voters were a bloc, they would be larger than most EU countries. Parmeshwar, Bawa for NDTV.